Hi guys, Clara here, and today I'll be showing you how to make a clay seahorse. Starting off with a large yellow ball for the body, roll it into a thick log, then taper one end for the tail. For the other end, use your finger to roll an indent for the neck to define the head, and push the head forward to follow the curve of the body. Let's add some detail to the belly. With a small ball of orange clay, roll it out, then flatten between your fingers to create an oval. Attach that on the belly and press in place, and roll it on the table a few times to smooth out the surface. So far, this is what we're working with. Looking a little stiff. Let's fix that by pressing the head forward again to angle it downwards towards the belly. For the tail, curl it upwards into a swirl shape. Mine ended up being too short, causing the proportions to look off. As I did these steps in a questionable order, I just made it a bit more complicated to fix. I considered starting over and pretending I knew how to make it perfectly the first time round, but I figured it might be a good idea to show the mistakes and how I fixed them. My solution was to remove a bottom portion of the orange clay and use the extra area of yellow clay to roll out a longer tail without it ending up being too thin. When I rolled out the tail again, it created a nice swirl that curved into the back without looking as cramped as it did before. It may not be perfect, but we're moving on anyway. I used a small ball of yellow clay and rolled it into a log before placing it on the face, since seahorses have a weird straw-like mouth. Okay, I know we just left the struggle bus, but it's time to hop back on because this snout was giving me issues. I was trying to use a small ball-pointed tool to indent the tip, but all I was doing was flattening it into the face. This time, I indented the log while it was attached to the tool before adding it to the face, which would have worked if it ever let go of the tool. Then I removed the indented log from the tool and pressed it in place with my fingers. But when I tried to deepen the indent, I ended up taking the snout with me. At this point, I was just fed up and I figured enough blending makes anything look good. So I continued blending and shaping, and while it did flatten out a little bit, I was able to adjust the shape with this angled silicone tool by rolling it down the face and up the snout. From there, I could start indenting the tip without losing too much of the shape. To finish sculpting the face, add an indent on either side and fill each indent with a ball of black clay for the eyes. Truth be told, I did not look up any pictures of seahorses before I sculpted this, as I thought I knew what they looked like. For mine, I chose to add a long spiked fin that extends from the head and continues down the back. I also added two smaller fins on either side of the belly, but it would have been more realistic to have a small fin on the lower back as its dorsal fin, and two smaller fins on either side of the head for its pectoral fins. Maybe that's just nitpicking though. For a little more detail, I'm adding line indents with the flat edge sculpting tool on both of the side fins and across the belly. Once that's done, our clay is ready for the oven. After baking, we're left with a little seahorse that, while not entirely accurate, is still pretty cute. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you have any suggestions on what you want to see me make next, let me know. But other than that, hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all later. Bye!